year a colleague of yours was injured with assault rifles when he was practicing for baseball. And I know you've been a leader in thinking about how to control assault rifles. I'm talking about hunters or legitimate use of, I'm talking about crazy people going into a ball field with an assault rifle or a movie theater. There are so many examples of the use of assault in the Connecticut elementary school. Do you, what are your thoughts about the possibility of making some progress on limiting the vulnerability that innocent people have in the face of assault rifles?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I don't want to say this in a way that will disappoint you, but the fact is that the response from many of my colleagues after that shooting was to introduce a piece of legislation that allows members of Congress to carry guns. So that was sort of how a lot of people processed that. No. I think, I've tried to focus my work in gun safety on, acknowledging to people that law-abiding citizens have a right to have a gun. It's in our Constitution. But we can do a much better job of keeping guns out of the hands of people who are criminals, who have serious mental illness such that having a gun is a danger to themselves or others. And so I've introduced a legislation that specifically targets, like, how do we help identify people who, if they had a gun, would be dangerous. There are hundreds of bills that are designed to keep guns out of the hands of criminals and to make it more difficult for people who shouldn't have a gun to get one. I think we will not make progress on this in the current Congress. I mean, as you know, some of us after the last shooting at the Pulse night, every time there's a killing, we have a moment of silence. And that's basically what Congress does. Stands quiet and does nothing for 1 minute. And many of us thought, like, this cannot be all we do. And we did the sit-in, and, as a way to just force some action on a couple of these bills. Taking people on the terrorist watch list and not letting them buy a gun, doing universal background checks that work. We, rather than bring those bills to the floor, they adjourned the House, which we never thought they would do. And they had a number of hearings about how to punish us, but didn't have any hearings on any of the gun bills. So this is a hard issue. It was a hard issue when I was in the state legislature. I was one of the founding members of Mayors Against Illegal Guns. This is one of the areas where we made the least amount of progress. We have a gun epidemic in this country. We are not powerless to do anything about it. There are things we can do to reduce gun violence. And again, people blame lobbyists and special interests. I blame every single member of Congress who doesn't support common sense gun safety legislation.